What's up, friends and fans? Cloudchord here today. I'm back and I have a new amp template. I've been working on this one for a little bit. It's called the Desert Surf amp template. It's a mix of like surf guitars and like the desert spaghetti western kind of feel. Real classic in like 50s and 60s movies, and has had a resurgence with artists like Leon Bridges and Khruangbin and stuff like that. Last night I went and saw Alison Krauss and Robert Plant, and their band had this vibe like 90% of the show. So I got some cool tricks here. So let's go through this signal chain and then talk about the presets. And then you'll also notice I have some clips up here. So as part of the deluxe template, I'm offering some clip-based automation, which is what I do live to trigger new sounds. So we'll get to that part in the second half. But real quick, let's just go through this signal chain so you can see what I'm working with, because if you download the free template, it won't have the macros or the presets, but you can just see the guts of what you're working with. Okay, so let's go through our signal chain here. The smooth automator we'll get to in a second. That deals with the clip automation in the second half of this. So we have our snapshots and our macros, which work in tandem together. And then our actual guitar signal chain here is our tuner. Looks like I'm a little flat. The pedal for some fuzz. The phaser, we'll use that in a couple presets to get some airy modulation. The EQ, which I'm using mostly for high cut and low cut. Auto filter, which I'm using in a very cool preset here using the LFO rate. So we'll get to that in a minute. The amp, which is mostly using clean and boost presets. Secret weapon here is the shifter, which is pitch shifting down an octave to emulate like a Digitech whammy pedal or a Boss octave pedal. Our cabinet, saturator and warm tube, you can keep those on or off. That's just for some slight warmth. Our auto pan for our tremolo. Here's a cool fun fact about auto pan is if it's on phase 0 or 360, instead of panning left to right, it just stays in place and acts as a volume automation, which is essentially what a tremolo is on a mono amp. Then we have our delay. And at the end, I just have a little bit of glue compression to catch the peaks. And then we have the spring reverb, because that is a classic part of this surf guitar sound. And then we have our limiter. So, and then up here in the tempo, we just got a couple drum beats, and then we have a looper chain, which I will show you how I would use in this context. All right, so let's look at these presets. So the first one is just super clean. It's the clean amp setting. It's just a good out-of-the-box, safe bet here, right? Okay, and then we get into some other things. Here is the surf preset. It's just kind of the quintessential. So it's using a bunch of reverb. We can really get that. So that's just the boost amp right here, with that hybrid reverb at the end. Now we're adding tremolo. So you see the tremolo amount, which is mapped to my auto pan. Over here, it's mapped right there. If you go into the map settings, you'll see it here. Right here. Watch that knob when I hit the surf trem. It's the exact same sound with tremolo. Now we got slapback delay. Great for single note kind of stuff because you can really hear the slapback delay. So what that is a fair amount of delay with the shortest delay time possible and a little bit of delay feedback, which is how many taps you give it. So you look over here, it's just the shortest amount of time with just a little bit of feedback. Okay, filter tremolo. This is a cool thing you can do with the auto filter. It is controlled by this macro here called filter tremolo. So watch this. This is with it pretty much off. Now as I turn it up, our filter goes down in frequencies but the LFO amount goes up and it is synced to my BPM. So you can get this kind of thing. So if I play a beat, then we get eighth notes, right? And you can mess with this. You can make it slower. Sounds more like a phaser at that point. I can do it real fast, like 30 seconds. Then we have phase chords. That's just turning on the phaser here with this macro. Just kind of nice to have some glassy stuff in this style that's ensemble playing, as it were. And then same sound, but a little bit more lo-fi with some delay. So, and what I did there is turned up the delay amount and did the high cut, so it's a little bit of a darker sound. Now we're getting into some leads. And what's going on there is we turn to the rock setting of the amp, and then a little bit of glue at the end with that glue compressor with the soft clip-ons, so it just gives it some extra oomph. Now the surf guitar styles are mostly clean tones, but inside this I wanted to give you some distorted tones. Okay, now here is that same lead sound with the low octave from the shifter turned on. So you'll see right here with this macro, all that's really doing is affecting the dry wet of the shifter there. So here's how it sounds. I guess that's also part of the modern desert sound, because if you think of bands like Caius, psychedelic desert rock, they very much have this sludgy, distorted guitar tone. Now here is what I call the Barry guitar tone. Now that is 100% of the pitch shifter. I might even turn up my chain volume here a little bit and resave that preset. Cool, teachable moment. Couple left, we have the AM radio, which is just cutting out our highs and lows. Always great for intros or outros or breakdowns of this style. And then last but not least, this one's called Pyramids, and this is just a different use of the tremolo. It's a really fast amount with that boosted amp sound and tiny bit of phaser. Also, don't forget, if you want to do any variations of this, what you can do is right click and you can do a duplicate, and then you can change up some sounds. Like I could add some more phaser, and I could change the low octave amount, and then I can just hit this and save it, and I could save it as Pyramids low. So then we have this sound now, and then we have the first one. So there you go, you got an extra preset. All right, now let's dig into this clip automation and how you could use this in a real creative way. Okay, so what's going on here is these clips are going to allow me to change the snapshots or presets of this amp. And it's largely due in part to this Max for Live device called Smooth Automator Audio. Inside each of these clips, you'll look that there is a clip automation menu called Smooth Automator Audio, and then it's automation for the variation. And so what happens is, for example, this first clip is variation 1, and the second one is variation 2. And what that does is it triggers these numbers here in the Max for Live, which trigger these snapshots. So what I'm going to do up here, for the sake of just speed and going through these, I'm going to change my global trigger quantization to none. Okay. So now what I can do, I can literally just do this on my push and play. So that just triggered the clean. Now I go here. That just triggered the surf. Surf tremolo. So on and so forth. So you could map this to a pedal board, or you could just have these automated to turn on during certain sections of a tune. So that's the gist. These clips go through all of these presets thanks to Smooth Automator Audio. I also do this for MIDI channels and for my push channel for live. So let me bring this back to 1-bar automation. And I have a looper here, and I'm going to create a loop in one sound, and then I'm going to solo on top of it with another sound. So how about we start with slapback, and then we got a beat. All right, so looping 2, here we go. Cool, now I'm going to change my sound. How about another sound? We'll add some stuff. Overdub. How about a harmony? Yeah, then maybe a bass? Let's see. How about the Barry guitar? So there you have it. Lots of fun. So this right here, everything you see is in the free template. These beats, this clip automation, and even this looper signal chain. So hope you enjoyed Desert Surf Amps. See you next time on Cloudchord. Thank you.